Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM21 Build a Nation story from Bangor City with me, Daniel. We're back as Welsh champions and we've dropped into the Europa Conference qualifying stages, and we were surprised at the end of the last episode because we drew Tre Flori, aside from the San Marino League, a side we'd expect to be beaten and a side that we're favourites against. So if you're looking forward to this, as we showed a double header today, please do put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from two long-term stories. This tie has taken us back into positive figures financially, probably for the first time in a good year and a half, since about September of the first season. It's a massive moment for us as a squad, it's a really important one for the club, and potentially we could be just 2 games from the group stages after this. Surely it can't happen. There are some good sides left in this qualifying, so we'll see how it goes. But for now, we're very much excited about the prospect of success, more financial backing, and a bit of a raise to the coefficient as well, which is all the more crucial for the nation. And there's something else we've got to start on first, which makes that all the more important. And that's our friends down at Town United. They stopped us getting into Europe the first year. The second year, they did alright. They finished ahead of TNS. They came second in the league. They did almost give us a bit of a headache towards the end of the season, and they got through their first qualifying game. They were playing against a 3-star side from Slovakia, and if we have a look at their key player, he's not great, but he's better than our league, and he's only 17 years of age. If we look at the greyed out players, I'd argue they're a higher standard, certainly, than the players in the Welsh League. So Town United have caused an almighty shock by getting through there. It's a fantastic result. We've really got to give them praise. And as a result, they've got through to the second qualifiers against Aris from Greece. They're not going to win that. There are some brilliant players in that side. But an extra round we didn't expect. A real bonus for the Welsh League. And I've just looked here, we've forgotten. We've got the SPFL Trust Trophy this year. Formerly the Challenge Cup, the Caramel Wafer Cup, the one that we loved with Cliftonville. And we're going to get our go at that this year. We are keeping an eye on one of Barry's players because there's a lot of interest from English clubs. And that man is Evan Press. He is an absolute gem at this level. We cannot let him go out the Welsh League. He's natural at centre-half. He's natural in centre-mid. He's as good as Ted Molden was before we lost him. And if he can't stay in the Welsh League with Barry, he is going to be coming to us. Or we'll certainly put a fight to try and get him anyway. They've got a really good side, Barry, and they are improving. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. Let's have a quick look at the transfer window as well, just so you can see what's been going on. We've got a potential head of youth development change, Sammy Klingham, the man that we're looking at. A brilliant player who used to play in the EFL, has played over in the native Northern Irish League and has 39 international caps. He's a proper player. If we look at the history though, no more ins, no more outs. We had one who rejected us, Kane Jobson. He was a holding midfielder who's decided not to come to us. We've got him on trial now, as we keep trying to tempt him in. But otherwise, it looks really good. If we have a look at the league, just so I can show you any transfers coming in there, we've got them in order of date, I think. So, Macaulay Power has gone to Barry. He's a name I recognise, but I'm not going to tell you why just yet. TNS have been signing the likes of Marcus Ifield. They're not really first team players, but they're youngsters with a lot of potential. However, they did bring Jason Oswell back. He was formerly of Newtown, has had a bit of a spell in the EFL and the National Leagues, and he's now come to play for TNS. He's a big target man, he's a good player, and I'm sure he'll score goals for them. They've been really busy though, as of Town United. They've got 4 or 5 names in already, and even if it's squad depth, that's what was costing them last year. So if they keep hold of their first 11s and keep adding those players in, I think they'll be alright. And with us progressing in Europe, it is going to affect our first few league games, so we've got to keep our eyes peeled. We've got to make sure we don't get dragged behind. So Barry in action tonight, as are we against Tre Flori. Aside from San Marino, of course, they've got no real players, and we looked at the greyed out players, and they're what we'd expect. I've managed in the San Marino League before. I've done the San Marino Challenge plenty of times in the past before the club folded, and it's the sort of standard we expect, and it is certainly one we'd expect to be winning. So let's go and get into it. It's the same formation, the same tactic, and largely the same 11. We've brought Pixley in the number 10 because Rogers is suspended. We've kept Goodridge in the holding role because Silla's on holiday after his international duty. He was absolutely knackered. So Goodridge stays in despite not quite being fit. We've got young Hankin, young Tudor on the bench, 2 of the youth products. There's a lot that looks good here. So I'm hoping we'll get a comfortable win as we play the home leg here at Namporth. We've got Zabret in goal, Bolton and Moore the fullbacks with Harbottle and Hockenhull centre half. Goodrich, Boot, Kretschmer and Pixley the midfield four, with Amadi Holloway up front alongside Samuel Fanian. Both got a goal in the Champions League qualifier against Dinamo, and they'll be looking to build on that today. We can go positive, we can attack this game, and let's hope we can get on top with a good first leg win. Loads of changes from our friendly, loads of changes from other matches. We did try to bring in a goalkeeper, he was refused a work permit, one of the post-Brexit problems we've got in game. But there's the lineup. There's no manager in place for them that we can see, so he must be greyed out too. And they can't fill the bench, something we've done in the head coach a lot of the time. But let's go and get into it. We're going to tell the lads they should be winning. And we're just going to hope, with our best players out, bar Rodgers who's suspended, surely we can get on top of this one. And here we are, just second minute of the match, and Hockenhol's playing out from the short goal kick. Finds Moore on the right hand side and he goes long. Given away to Battistini though. Selly over the top. It falls for Hockenhol. Goodrich. Kretschmer. Time on the ball. Picks it up and finds Boot and now Hockenhol. He gets it forward to the right back Moore. Over the top towards Fanian. The centre half misses his header. Samuel Fanian's in. And with less than 2 minutes on the clock, we lead already. And I've got a good feeling about this tie. 1-0 Bangor City. 1-0 Samuel Fanian. And it's a free kick on the left this time. It's Bolton who's going to take it. Kretschmer inside to Goodrich and now Boot. Through to Pixley. Chance for his first goal. And he gets just that. First start. It takes 3 minutes. And we're 2-0 up already. It is an absolutely blistering start from Bangor. And we might not even need to show the second leg. This could be carnage. Well, I may have got a bit ahead of myself. 5 minutes to the break. Tre Flori have not threatened our goal at all. So it's still a comfortable lead, but we'd like to get a third or fourth. Just see things out. Maybe even rest some people. Because don't forget, our first league fixture is next Sunday. So if we can rest people on the Thursday and sort of balance the two competitions. Oh, I thought it was a third. It's offside against Boot. It would really help us out. So hopefully we can get to the hour mark, get a third, and then start resting some of these legs. Particularly Goodrich there. As Tozy picks it up in the middle. What we have got to do is make sure we don't let in an away goal. As Mukioli picks it up on the left. Nicked by Pixley. He's had a really good game. And I think he's in ahead of Rodgers for now. They're evenly matched. And he started brilliantly. And he puts it in for Fanian. And this time he turns provider. A brilliant ball in. The number 10 creates. The number 9 scores. It is the perfect day at the office. And with just under an hour on the clock, we are coming forward on the left again. We will make changes after this, just a couple, as Bolton comes down the left wing, unopposed entirely. Finally gets his cross in, Fanian's there, and it's a hat-trick for Samuel Fanian. A brilliant performance from the boys, a brilliant result it's going to be. And with 60 on the clock, we're in a luxury position. We're going to take off Kretschmer. We're going to bring on the youngster, Gwyn Tudor. One of his first appearances for the club, and it's in a European qualifier. Goodrich is going to come off as well. He'll be replaced by Liam Nolan. And you know what? I'm going to bring Jack Hankin on as well. The two youth prospects from the academy intakes, one each year, and they're in for half an hour of a Europa Conference qualifier. Tre Flori not had a shot on goal at all, and we are absolutely dominating. Stoppage time up, no further highlights, a brilliant first leg performance, a 4-0 lead for us. Amadi Holloway set up a goal, Pixley set up a goal. Pixley scored his first for the club and Fanian got a hat-trick. Two youth academy youngsters on for European qualifying football. It is a brilliant day. Now we've won 4-0 at home, we're playing against a poorer side. I might rest 3 or 4 for the second leg. I don't want to go mad, because we've got to keep ourselves in form. And I think, if I remember rightly, our first leg is against, hang on a minute, I'll come back to that. Barry have drawn against the Greeks. Barry Town United 0, Aris 0. That is an incredible result. They're doing better than us at this rate. Aris are bordering on Dinamo level. That's ridiculous. Well done to Barry Town. But for us, a brilliant win. I was saying, I think our first league game is against Carmarthen again. Seems to be the case every season. It's not. It's Haverfordwest. I've completely got that out of nowhere. So Haverfordwest at home is the first game. Knocked us out of the Welsh Cup last season, of course. An interesting start to the season this is going to be. But a really good first leg performance. A brilliant Fanian performance. And we'll be back for the second leg in a moment. Surely we can't throw it away from here. Well, back for the second leg. An offer for Kay McLagan from Connors Quay. We are going to try and loan him out to one of these clubs. And that's because our director of football, Ross Jenkins, has made an offer for Damani Hunter. And he looks a brilliant young advance forward. A good backup to Fanian for certain. Prefers to play on the left, which is a slight issue. Might suit Holloway, but his scout ratings are on a par with Fanny Ann, and that's something we certainly can't decline. Came out of the Watford Academy. We'll see what happens, but potentially a good improved addition to the squad, more young hungry players about, and more players we can move on to help the nation. That's exactly what this save's about. But we're back to face Tre Flori, and in the immediate future, the aim is us getting through this qualifier, and ideally, if Barry Town United can pull off the shock of the world, we'll be delighted. It's 0-0 there against the Greek side Aris. They must lose on the road, surely. But they've shocked us a couple of times already, so let's wait and see. We're just going to have a look at the squad we've got for this one. Silla, unfortunately, still not back yet. He's really struggling physically. But I think he will be okay for the weekend. Jack Rogers is back from suspension. He's going to go on the bench. I don't really want to put him on in place of Tudor, because Tudor's getting football at the moment, where the youngsters are coming off. So I'm just going to see if we can jig things about a bit here. I want to give Goodrich a rest, because he was tired. So let's get Nolan in a holding role, or Glendon. Glendon's not as fit, and he's the club captain, so let's get him in. Goodrich will come out of the squad entirely. Jack Rogers on for him. And aside from that, we're going to go with the same 11, the same 18, and we're going to try and get the same result. It's Tre Flori v Bangor City. We've got a 4-0 advantage. I'm hoping nothing can go too wrong from here, but let's see if we're proven wrong. Here's the team sheets then. I'm pretty sure that Muccioli started the last game. Otherwise, it looks pretty much the same for the hosts. For us, we've just got the one change, of course. We're going to ask the lads to do more of the same. We're going to get the fist pumping, or stretch the arms out at least. And a couple more motivated there. So fingers crossed that's a positive. Hopefully we'll put on a professional display. And if we can get a goal or two as well, that would be lovely. A very central formation for Tre Flori. They're trying to match us up there. And it is one we've had trouble with before. But our players are so superior, even at this level, that hopefully we'll be able to do it. As Glendon finds Hockenhull, out to Moore on the right, just 7.5 minutes on the clock. We've already got one into the box, and he's cleared away as far as Kretschmar. But we're recycling it, we're not letting them out of their half. And at the moment, they're camped in. As Fanian gets behind, he puts his shot just wide. It's a great run. Probably not the best finish on his weak foot. 10 on the clock though, a pretty dull start. And the only chance falling to Bangor. Exactly what we wanted with our 4-0 lead. And it's a goal kick now as 20 on the clock for Tre Flori. Long downfield, but no one really supporting their centre forward. So he's dropping in almost like a sort of deep line forward or a false nine. And the other three attacking midfielders, I presume, are all on support duties because they're going backwards more than they are forward. As the through ball finds Fanian, his goal is in again. An incredible strike. I think I said his goal's in. His shot's in, of course. But another goal for Samuel Fanian. That is an incredible achievement in his first European matches to have this level of effect. I know it's poor opposition today, but he scored against Dinamo as well. It is not to be underestimated, as Boots trying to pick it up again on the right. Through to Fanian yet again, and this time just wide of the post. Might have even clipped it, but the woodwork denies him. It's still 1-0, and we're starting to get a real foothold here. As look at that, those three attacking midfielders, they're not pushing on. They're not giving us a problem to deal with. They're just sort of sitting there. And it's almost easy for our centre mids to mark them. As Fanian's put in again, it's the same combination. Owen Moore with that cold ball down the right channel between left back and centre half. And Fanian gets in. He slides it into the bottom corner. And 2 goals in 3 minutes. 2 assists for Owen Moore. And it's 6-0 on aggregate. A perfect night at the office again. Another brilliant half, just 30 seconds of stoppage time to go. And again, the hosts haven't had a shot yet. As Boot picks it up on the right to Moore. Can it be the hat-trick of assists and goals? It's not. He goes back to Glendon and Kretschmar. Glendon again. Time on the ball, over to Fanian. It is a hat-trick though. Samuel Fanian scores his second hat-trick in 2 legs against the San Marino side. And this time it's Glendon in that holding role. A lovely ball by the skipper. And 3-0 is the lead at the break. 7-0 on aggregate. An absolute dominance for Bangor. 3 days till our first league game. We're going to be able to rest a few at the hour mark. And that's exactly what we needed. A perfect start. And it's a corner kick for Kretschmar. If we score another now, I'll do it straight away. Amadi Holloway hits the bar. I feel for him because he's creating chances. He's playing well for the side. He just can't get that goal. As Bolton's picked it up on the left to Harbottle. Back to Bolton again. Over the top towards Holloway. Here he is left side of the box. Back to Bolton. Not the best pass, but keeps it in. and beats his man in the challenge as well. Kretschmar plays a 1-2 with him to Glendon. The fullbacks have had acres in this game. It's been a really weird one. They've got 3 attacking midfielders and they've done nothing to combat these fullbacks as it's into Fanian who shoots straight at Tamagini. It's a good header, but it was pretty poorly directed. Had enough power, but not enough direction. And as a result, it remains 3-0. As the goal kicks long, it's intercepted by Boot. Pixley finds Fanian, beats his man despite the foul, shoots from the edge of the box, and it's just over the bar. And I know he's chasing as many goals as possible, but we need him for the weekend. So Fanian's going to have a rest, possibly a last appearance for the club for Kane McLagan. What a moment it'll be to make it as well. Jack Hankin will come on for Riley Harbottle, who I think is our most crucial defender. In fact, which one of those two is in the best condition? I think Harbottle's got the worst physical stats, so do you know what? It's going to be Hankin. Moore will go into centre-half, and that's how we're going to be. In midfield, Boot's normally the one that struggles the most, so he'll be replaced by Tudor. And again, the 2 youth academy players are on the pitch, and we're getting football to others. McLagan making a final farewell. It's a perfect day at the office so far. As Berardi's got a throw on the left for the host, Glendon gets it downfield, and here is Kay McLagan. He wouldn't mind a European goal here. He's in behind, he's got the chance, and McLagan scores. What a way it would be if this is his final appearance, to end his time at the club. 4-0, the chicken dance is out, and it's 8-0 on aggregate. We've doubled the score. And Glendon's got a free kick over the top towards Moore. In behind, it's a good save. Really good goalkeeping. It's a corner kick now. 20 minutes to go. I'm starting to wonder if we can get to double figures on aggregate. 2 more goals will get us there as Kretschmar delivers. Outswinger to Tudor. And his header's over the bar as well. Would have been a brilliant moment for the Youth Academy kid. But it's not to be. It remains 4-0. Well, that should just about be it. We have got a throw in to defend here. 3 minutes remaining. Tudor's chasing, as is McLagan. Neither of them get there. Renzi picks it up at centre-half. He's forced all the way back. It's a really good press. And Tamagnini's got time, but he can have it there. We're happy to watch him do that. Over the top, Jack Bolton will get there first. They're still not pressing any higher. That attacking midfield 3 for them. Our fullbacks have had an absolute field day. We'd like to get Hankin in down the right, really. See what he can do in the last few. As Moore's drifted in centre-half, he goes long to McLagan. Back to Pixley. In the centre circle, he beats one challenge. Obviously scored one in the first leg, and here he comes again. He's lost out this time though, and it falls for Bolton. Early cross to Kay McLagan, and it's a second of the day for the experienced striker. And if Connors Key are going to pick him up, they've got a very good striker in very decent form. A perfect end to the day for us. 5-0, 9 on aggregate, and another corner as 2 minutes are added on. Into Amadi Holloway, it's pointed to the spot. McLagan is listed to take it. I'd really like Amadi Holloway to have it. I'm going to try, but I think because he's on a hat-trick, McLagan will get it anyway. He does. Kay McLagan, and it's through the keeper. Probably should have been saved, but he's got a hat-trick off the bench. And now I have to think, do we want him to move on? What a moment and performance it's been off the substitutes bench for him. It's 10-0 on aggregate, 6-0 on the night. Hat-tricks for Fanian in the first half and McLagan in the second. And a brilliant 10-goal performance over 2 legs. Bangor City safely through. And Barry are out by 2-1. How close is that? Aris given a run for their money by the semi-pro Welsh side. Barry Town a lot to be proud of there. But unfortunately, they just about bow out. For those that were following with Cliftonville last year, you'll know how these Builder Nations work. Very top heavy at this stage as we try and get through the qualifiers. We've had our draw for the next round already, and we've got Tbilisi. Now they're a 2-star Georgian side. I just want to see, because they're all greyed out, what the standard of player is. And I'm having a look at the average ratings. They're a bit better. I would say they're quite similar to ours, if we're being honest. They've got a couple of standout players, so that first left back was pretty good. I'm just having a look through to see if there's any others. But as it stands, I'd say we've got a chance. Oh, they've got a good striker. That's going to be problematic. But aside from that, I think we've got a chance to compete here. I'm just having a look to see if the 4th qualifier's drawn as well. But there are some big sides left. Wisla Krakow, Levski Sofia, Linfield in Northern Ireland. We will be underdogs if we get to the final qualifier. But another winnable tie and a chance to make history. So we will be back, despite making more money, for the very next qualifying round. We've got Haverfordwest off camera. We'll have the MG Cup off camera against Conwy between the 2 games in the next episode. But like TNS the year before, while we're flying in Europe and getting through the qualifiers, we've got to prioritise it. And if it means we give up the title one year, but we get the coefficient money to get to the group stages or to get to the fourth qualifier, it benefits the nation, so we're going to do it. So that's what we've got to look forward to. There's going to be more transfers, I'm sure. There's going to be plenty happening in the Welsh League. I'm sure there were quite a few even in the last week. We'll have a very quick glance before we finish. There are loads of transfers going on. A couple of youngsters leaving Wales to go over to England, but they're loaning players like Barry there from Bristol Rovers, a good young winger there. There's some decent players coming into this country. Henry Jones has got a move, was with us last year, has now gone to Cardiff Met Uni. So there's good players across the board and this nation is getting stronger. The Welsh coefficient moving up very slightly. Only one place in the last season. But with TNS's performances last year and ours this year, plus Barry getting through a round as well, I'm hoping we can push towards the top 100. That's certainly the aim. But we'll be back this time next week. It's Tbilisi in the third qualifier for the Europa Conference. If you're looking forward to that one and you did enjoy this performance against Tre Flori, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know how far you think we can go. I think the fourth qualifier is realistic with this tie, and then it'll probably be curtains. Hopefully it won't affect the league form too much. Hopefully no cup embarrassments either. But there's plenty riding on the European form. The money will be life-changing for this club. So we've got to prioritise where it matters. If you want to stay up to date with this series and some big moments in the head coach at the moment, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts every day at 3:30 as new episodes release on the channel, as well as 2 weekly live streams on Tuesday evening and Sunday morning every week from Dundee United. It's starting to look pretty good in this series. It's far from that in the other one. The head coach is becoming very frustrating. But it's nice to have a bit of a mix across the channel. So thank you for your incredible support as always. You can catch up with all of the series playlists and the podcast channel in the eye above. But another couple of brilliant European nights for us. And I'll see you next time for the third qualifier.